The Viking Society for Northern Research, founded in London in 1892 as the Orkney, Shetland, and Northern Society or the Viking Club, is a group dedicated to the study and promotion of the ancient culture of Scandinavia, whose journal, saga book, publication of editions, translations, and scholarly studies, and since 1964 the Dorothea Koch Memorial Lectures, have been influential in the field of Old Norse and Scandinavian British studies. Initially, the club was founded as a social and literary society for those from Orkney and Shetland. After some debate, this was broadened to include all those interested in the Norsemen and the history of the North, and an inaugural session of the reconstituted Viking Club or Orkney, Shetland, and Northern Society was held at the King's Way House Rooms on January 12, 1894. It was mocked in the Pall Mall Gazette under the headline "Vikings Drink Tea," whereupon a member retorted in a letter that the fiercest warriors, even savages, drink tea and coffee nowadays. Punch made fun of the Nordic titles of its officers with a satirical saga of the Shield Maiden, "There ll be many a black eye, mother, in the club tomorrow night, for the things Bothman and the law Bothman have together arranged to fight, while the stakes will be held by the scat taker, and the Jarl will join the fray, and we Shield Maidens will shriek and hoop in Old Norse, as best we may." The society did at that time call its officers Jarl, Jarlaman, Viking Jarl, Umbothsjarl and the rest, and its bylaws are still called the Law Book. Initially they had used names specifically related to the Isles, Udalr, Udal Book, and Udal Right for member, list of members and membership respectively, and also Husthing, Schynd Bill, Greatfoot and Stemrod. Both publications also made fun of the Viking pronunciation of Viking and of the ambitious statement of intent in the prospectus: "It behoves everyone who is directly or indirectly connected with or interested in the North to give the Viking Club such support as will enable it to take its proper place among the foremost societies in Europe." In the words of Punch, "If we scratch up a scanty Scanian skill with Skald and Skull and Ski, in the foremost place of societies soon in Europe will be." The mockery touched off vehement exchanges of letters in the Orkney Herald and the Shetland News, in which Saint Magnus was used as a pen name and reference was made to effeminacy and nithings. The society soon became better known for scholarship than for the conviviality that had been half its intended purpose. The foys, or concerts, gave way starting in 1901 to an annual dinner, which has continued to the present with few interruptions. In 1902 its name changed to the Viking Club or Society for Northern Research, and in 1912 to the Viking Society for Northern Research. The first volume of the journal, Saga Book, appeared in 1895, the first volume of Old Lore Miscellany is dated 1907-08, in welcoming that, the Pall Mall Gazette praised the Society for fresh and meritorious work. In 1908, a correspondent reported approvingly in the American Journal of Philology on the Society's very large membership, including many names prominent in the literary life and the scientific world of England, Scotland, and the North, and on its publications and expenditure of large sums of money on expeditions as far afield as Denmark. From 1920, Saga Book occasionally published monographs as separate numbers, but there is also a short extra series of monographs which began in 1893. A text series began with an edition of Gunnlaug's Saga Ormstungu in 1935 and later broadened to include further monographs. The Dorothea Koch Memorial Lectures at University College London, endowed in 1962 by Colonel B.E. The Society has also assisted in publishing the proceedings of the Viking Congress since the 6th Congress in 1969, and in making foreign publications available to members. The Viking Society both resulted from and encouraged the Victorian Viking revival. Collingwood, an art professor who became a philologist and translator as well as illustrator of Old Norse texts, presented his oil painting The Parliament of Ancient Iceland to the Society, and it hung in their meeting room. In 1917 the Viking Society was asked to help with the effort to establish Scandinavian studies at the University of London, where it was by then holding its meetings, and it became traditional for the head of what is now the Department of Scandinavian Studies at University College London to be joint honorary secretary of the Society. The Society's extensive library became part of University College's library in 1931 in exchange for permanent access to a meeting room. However, in 1940 the collection was almost entirely destroyed in a fire caused by wartime bombing, and it had to be laboriously replaced. World War I had little effect on the Society's meetings but interrupted its publications, which resumed only slowly. There had been financial problems early in its history. A treasurer destroyed the year's financial records rather than take them with him in a move, and the printers sued to recover the cost of an overrun, and again in 1916 a large sum had to be promised to the printers to avert a lawsuit, but in the 1920s serious financial problems arose. It publishes a journal called Northern Studies and holds an annual conference.